Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crying is a Free Action, a podcast about news, politics, goings on, and happenings around the nation, around our local states. Uh, it's a lot of news articles and things that have already been happening, but we have a eclectic audience to educate. I'm Justin. I'm joined here today with Tommy. Tommy, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Al is not with us today. He is on assignment. He'll be back whenever we show next available. We call it Crying is a Free Action because we love tabletop games, board games, all that kind of great stuff. And in those kind of games, you get actions. You get movement actions, attack actions, things of that nature. And some of them you get free actions. A free action usually is for warning an ally or taunting an opponent. But we're here to remind you that crying is also a free action, and you can do it while 42 million people lose their food now. That's already happening. We'll get to that. If Al were here, he'd say this is a National Peasant Radio production. It is, and especially because of the way I'm speaking into this new microphone arm that Tommy got me. Thank you, Tommy.
Yep, congratulations. Yep,
Yes, you're such a gentleman and
we got to invest in what matters to us,
and I appreciate it. And I put my monitor on an arm to clear up this space here. Now I can actually work at this desk and do things. But this also helps me keep the microphone up close to my face so I can work at the keyboard and the mouse and whatever. And now I don't wake up my wife, who is sleeping like 6 feet that way. And she works very hard for the money. So hard for the money. Continuing on, we are the team behind easyvotend.com. You should go there because we have articles, resources, and things as such that can help you out, help you find out how to vote. It's really important this week. Not in North Dakota. We don't have anything on the measure right now to vote. But if there are a lot of places where you can vote, and you should. And there are websites. If you go to easyvotend.com and then at the top bar you see resources, there is a link that says how to vote. I can probably even do that right now.
And part of our job is we're going to try to keep track of all the weird nonsense that happens when we have elected officials.
Right.
So just like our favorite the state rep, I guess, is Julie Fedorchak, right?
Oof.
So we have to
Yeah.
keep an eye on her because by election time, trust me, a lot of us forget what these people have done. So.
Absolutely. And the problem with Julie is that she's a robot. She has no actual beliefs or values. She'll just go whatever with what the party tells her to do, and whatever the script in front of her says, she'll just be like, yeah, I'll do that. And that's a problem. We need somebody who works for North Dakotans and wants we have a number of issues here in the state concerning the data center and how much energy and how much water and everything that's going to use. I don't think Julie Fedorchak is just going to rubber stamp whatever Trump says is okay. That's not what we want. We want what is good for North Dakota here. That is how your state representatives should work. So we need to get her out of there. I've looked at there is a Republican candidate that's going to run against her. He doesn't seem great. There is a Democratic candidate that's going to run against her, and he seems okay. I need to look a little more. At any rate, Julie Fedorchak sucks. This is a partisan podcast. I don't care anymore. EasyVoteND.com.
You can have opinions on the facts. You can't have opinions on I'm sorry. We share the same facts. You can have opinions on that. So
yes, correct.
But some of these people don't live in reality. We try to make sure you keep the reality close up and personal because these decisions is not a game. people's decisions in politics make a difference in our lives every day, and
Absolutely.
even. Mhm.
And so we're going to talk about SNAP benefits and food and somewhat today, quite a lot because that's what's happening. We're also going to talk about the local elections. We're going to talk about what ICE is doing. We're going to talk about more memes than I wish we had to talk about, but that's the state of our government. And then I think I'm going to rip a box of Riftbound. What is the Origins? Riftbound. It's the
Yeah,
League of Legends card game, and the first set is called Origins. So I think I'm going to rip a box of that.
we just had a release on that, right? I think
Yeah,
this
is
weekend.
that Friday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody. I did the only thing I was excited for on Halloween was that niece was coming to trick or treat at my store, and she was
Oh,
dressed as Scooby Doo. I will not be sharing those pictures because it's the internet, but they were adorable. I can report that much. At any rate, the government has been shut down now for what, like 29, 30 days?
we're like day 33, so
Oh,
we're almost hitting
so
the record.
yep, I was
The
going to say
current
this might be the longest government shutdown in US history then.
beating the previous government shutdown happened in 2019, also under Donald Trump's watch,
Right.
where
Who would have
he
thought?
also, the buck stops here, but not on that desk. So,
Oh, I should point out that I've replaced Al with a appropriate facsimile for this week on the round
yeah.
table. At any rate, the major thing going down right now is that because of the government shutdown, SNAP benefits have been suspended. And what SNAP benefits are is it's the nutrition and whatever plan,
You can call them
EBT,
EBT, food
food
stamps.
stamps, exactly. It's what helps. It's what it is a subsidy to help people with their grocery bill. Um, I've been on food stamps. I know a lot of people who
I've
have been on food stamps.
Yep, I was on food stamps
Mm-hmm.
as a kid.
And
Hmm.
the craziest part about all this is that we look at billionaires and all the money they have, and we're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't look at that. But the minute some black woman is on EBT, we have to dissect every little thing in their cart, right?
Yes,
Oh, she's got Coke in there. Ooh, she from
we're talking.
Atlanta. Who gives a shit? I love Coke
You're
too.
talking about the one of the most common attacks that they use out was very successful that the Republican Party did was the concept of a welfare queen.
Yeah,
So this specifically is like an inner city black woman with many kids who doesn't work, but they can still survive and get everything on food stamps. That's
somehow
not really.
it doesn't
Yeah, but
exist.
yeah, the average person getting food stamps is really not that much money. So
No,
it's like less than $200 a month
it's
per
usually
person.
it's about $160 a month. Period, like per family.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's even worse than I
it's
thought.
bad. Like some places you can get up to like 400 per family, but it's bad. So one of the things that I wanted to show here is that for North Dakota, we have a lot of food banks. The problem is they are running dry rapidly. And I straight up know people who have been going to food banks recently, like this week, and they got nothing. Like straight up nothing.
Mm.
And it's heart wrenching. This is what the Trump government wants, is that they want us to give all of our money to feed our poor, even though it would be inconsequential to them to pay for it, how little money it is. And so we'll come back to this as the Great Plains Food Bank Partner Agency list. Um, we have, I have been giving to, I live in the Bismarck Mandan area. Rock Haven. What the fuck is that? I've never even heard of that. Some rich people society, I'm sure.
Wow.
Um,
Kind of read their food banks then.
yeah,
Let's
right.
go.
This is Aid Inc. I know that. I clicked on that because that's the one I give to. Aid Inc. is a good service here in North Dakota. They're not just in Bismarck Mandan. They're in kind of the four corners, as they say it, but they're out in Williston now too because oil field stuff is important. I don't want to be like, hey, I did this, but like I was just like, fuck it. Here's our signal chant. Everybody donate to a fucking food bank, and people did it. So that's a challenge you should give it to your friends. Is just be like, hey, bitch, I bet you won't donate to a food bank. But this is not.
Yep.
This is like us donating to food banks, us tipping, us paying tariffs is not what the economy should be based around, and it doesn't have to be. In fact, they proved that by the one dude paying $130 million to pay for the military while they're deployed picking up trash in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's a billionaire friend of the regime,
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Mellon. That's right.
Yeah, and so also I thought that was way less money than I thought it was going to be. Like, oh, only $130 million to pay our military to pick up trash? Damn, I thought it was going to be at least like $2 billion.
I mean, in terms of other like famous people who are
Turns out
donating
that they
money.
only pay soldiers like $18,000 a year, which is like way below the poverty line.
You know, we have billionaires in this case donating to the military, and we also have like musicians like Billie Eilish donating
Oh
like
yeah.
20% of her income basically to food.
She's like, no hate, but
Like
like,
relief.
why do we have billionaires while who was it, Zuckerberg or whoever was in the, or no, it
Yeah.
was, yeah. And then all of the Swifties got mad for whatever reason. Like, oh, hey, like, shut up. Taylor Swift is a corporation and corporations aren't your friend.
She's probably a billionaire. She
She
can
is
spare some
definitely
money.
a billionaire. That is confirmed. Yeah, that is confirmed. That is why the Swifties were like, shut up, don't threaten Taylor. And she didn't say that at all. Billie Eilish, super based. Good for her. Music's pretty good too. At any rate, so speaking, we were talking about Snap. We said we were going to talk about it a lot, and we are. But there is a contingency plan for Snap and EB and food stamps and whatever you were calling it. Food assistance is the media term. There is something like $8 million or something like that they're just like, nah, man, that's it. That would pay for most of it for like a couple months. And
Yeah.
two separate federal judges were like, yeah, you have to disperse those funds. The government shutdown doesn't stop that. That's why this is like actually here. And Trump hasn't done it. It is now day 2.
He wants to. Here's the thing. This is the one. So yeah, it's like $8 billion. It's a contingency fund so that for situations literally like this, the USDA has the ability to disperse this to help cover the shortcomings. In other shutdowns, this is the first shutdown that we've had where EBT and SNAP has people used to be able to eat then.
Yep.
So yeah, even in his own Truth Social post, he sounds like he's somewhat reluctant, but he's willing to release the funds.
Yeah.
But this is the man. He's asleep at the driving wheel. He also did.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully
this could
it'll be coming out
go
soon.
literally any way. Right now, the funds have not been released. It is Sunday. They were supposed to be released, and we don't really have a story on this. We could probably find the video a little later, but like literally hours before all of these people were supposed to lose their funds, they're partying up at Mar-a-Lago having a fucking Halloween party. The literal let them eat cake.
In 1920s themed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was what was it? A Gatsby themed thing, right? Like
Yeah.
they're the least media literate, self-aware people that have ever existed.
If you ever thought that the regime, growing up, I knew that the government's not here to, help me, but not like this, man. I never don't trust the government on anything. This
Straight
is
up.
my
Like the federal government is a hostile entity in the United States now for good people. Like that's the straight up answer. And we're going to talk about the FBI and Kash Patel, and I want to pluck my own eyes out I'm going to talk about a bunch of law enforcement today later as well, mostly because I'm working on an article, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
The biggest thing
Yeah,
is that we really want people to eat, and I don't think that is a hot take, because you need food to survive. So
yeah,
if you
we're
can
the
give,
richest nation in the world.
yes, we are
So
literally the richest nation in the world, and we have some of the we have our poverty levels are out of control, and kids go hungry at night. We're gonna have literally they said oh, it's something like 12 million kids are gonna die. No, it's 1.2 million kids, which is still more than zero, and that's the number. More than 0 is too many.
Are going to go to bed hungry. They're go. The thing is, yeah, they're saying, oh, only the weak, sick kids are going to die. I'm like, yeah, that's a problem.
We shouldn't have those either. Yeah,
we shouldn't. Nobody should be starving. We spend $900 billion each year to fund the military. Could we not
Lord.
just get some of those billions and feed children and feed people? And if the answer is no, then I'm I don't know what we're doing here.
And
what are we doing here?
And by all the rights, all those guys in the military are fatter than we are. So
that's right.
We have photographic evidence. What do you Not to. I'm not trying. I don't want to. I'm not here shitting on the military. I love our men and women in uniform sexually, but seriously, that was your Texas National Guard. Seriously. Anyways,
we would have a photo up, but once again, we're not trying to shit on the military.
No, yeah, and those people didn't ask for that. They're serving their country proudly, and we respect that.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that matters, really, when it comes down to it. Thank you for your service. We really wish you didn't have to do that, because holy shit, I'm so sorry about Hot Wheels Greg Abbott. I'm gonna say it every week. That piece of fucking Nazi shit. All right. Give it to a local food bank. Ooh, speaking of foods, RFK.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your best friend. Tell me about this.
Okay, so so best friend RFK, who has
I also hate this guy, just so we're aware.
yes, he's the worst person you could put in charge for medicine and all these things. He is now advocating that we should probably go back to eating more saturated fats and trans fats, which in the 90s and 2000s, we learned that this stuff gives you
cheap,
heart disease.
Yeah. These cheap products that companies can use to pump up profits actually just give you ultra cancer in your heart.
Yes, because saturated fats, are different from unsaturated fats, because at room temperature it is solid, right. And these things kind of solidify in your veins,
in your body.
100%. And because of that, we don't have enough evidence. I'm like, dog, we have plenty of evidence from the all the freaking heart people for decades. This is decades trying to reverse decades research. Because this man is being paid off by big beef.
Yes.
He loves his beef tallow. He loves his fat. And he wants us all dead.
Okay. Fats in your diet are incredibly important. You need to be incredibly aware of what they do to your body. You should have a little beef tallow in your diet. Personally, you should have a little. But holy shit, do you need to have healthy oils aside of that?
Yeah, because he's against the seed oils, or it's
North Dakotans, come on, unite. That's what we do here: is healthy seed oils for fuel and the body.
Fat.
Exactly.
I can talk about things like LDL,
so
low density HDL, but the answer is
I know the HDL LDL argument, because again, I live in a state that produces efficient and good for you oils.
The other ones are that he also mentioned that we shouldn't be trusting our experts, and I have an entire list. I can start running through them of crappy this man has said in the past 2 weeks.
Please, just 2 weeks.
In the past 2 weeks that I'm kind of mad about.
This is just 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Please go on.
All right, number one. Okay, he has kind of gone back on the Tylenol causing autism.
He sure has.
Things, and saying that we didn't have enough evidence really to kind of make this link. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. So he's kind of walking his butt back on that. He has mentioned
We
that we should
we
not
were
be
a
trust.
little hasty.
We're not going to trust our
My
doctor. Don't
ostrich
trust your
had a
doctor.
bad researcher.
Go find your own independent research instead of trusting a damn doctor who is literally the expert in the field. You should be able to take care and maintain your own health with the power of Google and AI. You know
And a dude I
that
meet in a storage unit named Dr. J.
that's the fact is that a doctor is literally the expert of the thing. If you think you have a terrible doctor, may find another doctor. They all are not going to be like awful.
There are doctors
And
in
that's it.
Utah that are like, nah, man, you don't need vaccines.
Yeah. The fact that he's also rolling back, maybe this is just a Florida one. We're actually kind of rolling back like vaccine mandates for children for like elementary school things. And I'm like, that sounds like a terrible idea. The children get sick all the time. Any parents who have kids in like
A
daycares,
school is literally a little petri dish,
yeah,
just
says
growing fucking toxic warfare in there.
once again he's back again. We're trying to create like a vaccine injury program to find vaccine. This is the dumbest. I mean, okay, I
Okay,
probably have a few more.
I have acknowledged that there are people that cannot take the vaccine. There are definitely people who cannot take the vaccine. This vaccine injury thing is a fucking, like, that is too far. This is just like, ooh, we're going to pay our influencer friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing where, for the most part, are there some people that get injured? I'm not saying there aren't, right? But it's very, very low amounts of people. Some things are treatable. They talk about GB, Guillain-Barré syndrome, or whatever, where
See,
it could
but
really
that's the
affect you. Take
thing,
the
though, is
flu
they
vaccine.
gutted all of the programs that could study this stuff. And we should study it. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, keep track of these things. So there's a lot of nonsense, but we got to focus on other nonsense. And I do want to think that he laid off 3 weeks ago. That's right, Health and
Right.
Human Services. He laid off 1,000 doctors and scientists.
Sure
That's right. I forgot
did.
about that. FDA changes to fast track similar. So he's trying to even fast. The man is saying that we should study harder on some drugs, but then he's now trying to fast track other drugs. The man is bought and sold. He's paid for.
Oh, yeah.
I think of this man as a movie critic.
Yep.
The best thing is he is consistently choosing the worst options possible. So,
Sounds right. Yeah.
so whatever he says, probably just do the opposite. He may have some points about artificial food dyes in food. I'm like, you know what? Fair move.
A broken clock is still, whatever they say.
But everything else, kind of garbage.
Yes, absolutely. This was a guy who was like willing to give up his entire stance on everything while he was running for president just for a spot in the cabinet. So, like, that's most of these people. They have no morals. They have no compass. They're just like, yeah, whatever makes me money, whatever keeps me alive. Yeah, whatever. So
That's right.
This is one that I saw a little while ago, and I looked at it and was like, yep, this is AI. And so what ended up happening is a school in Baltimore has its security feed sent to a company that analyzes the feed through AI. And then if there's anything suspicious, they alert police in the air. Right? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
so it already sounds like, ooh, that's not wonderful. And of course it wasn't, because cops showed up, guns drawn on this poor kid, Takai Allen, and he was just sitting outside the school, and they were like, oh, he's got a gun. No, it was a bag of Doritos. The AI mistook a bag of Doritos he was holding in his hand for a gun. Probably because he was holding it like this or whatever. But AI is trash.
I'm of two minds with this one, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
There probably should be some form of human intervention. I think AI flags a thing, have a human look at it, and then see if that is the case, or do
I
some
might even
outline.
go a step farther because I was in law enforcement for a long time, like 12 years. And if you're just like, this is the screenshot we got, and you show it to some street cop, he's going to be like, that's a fucking bag of Doritos. Or he's going to
That's
be
right.
like, I don't know what that is, but it's probably not a gun. I'm going to go talk to the kid. We don't need to send 16 units guns drawn.
Yeah, this is where we're trusting sometimes the AI to be all knowing and all perfect. I think that's one of the situations in this case. I do think this is a good idea of a system. Don't get me wrong, but it needs some fine tuning.
Oh,
And yeah, this
I
poor.
think we're 30 years away from this being an actual product that's used personally. And
Yep.
that's me coming from. So in a lot of big cities, you see them, and I can't remember the name. There's like 3 different companies. I think they're all owned by like the Cook brothers or whatever. But like you see those big ass like generators with towers on them. There's cameras and lights and shit all over them in like Home Depot parking lots and shit like that. Big cities have them all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. It's all just a scam to get people to spend money. None of this technology actually prevents crime or anything like that. It's just a money-making scheme. Once in a blue moon, it'll help stop a crime or catch a crime or help a cop out, and that's what they hang all of their marketing on. But
Yep.
it's like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money because the city's got to pay for that. Home Depot ain't gonna fucking pay for that. Once in a while, if it's really bad, they'll pay a security company, but not very often.
I mean, it kind of speaks sometimes that we are trying to look at these kind of technologies to what kind of society we're kind of living in. I guess that's one of the issues.
Yeah, and
Is
it's
that
police state shit.
like I did like the math one time with a friend where it's like, what is the likelihood of your kid getting into a school shooting, right? So like based on the issue, based on the number of school, you just very simple. You take like the amount of school shootings you get like in a year, and then you divide by the amount of schools there are. What's the likelihood of that thing? And the answer is like, yeah, it's probably like about 1%, which is still incredibly high. Don't
That
get me wrong.
sucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
So like how much are you willing to pay to prevent something that could happen 1% of the time,
Sure.
1% in a year?
Yeah.
So I'm so like I think it's not a terrible. It is definitely a waste of money, but
Here's the
yeah,
problem though: is like all of those little security towers and cameras and stuff. They're not at schools.
they're
They're
not schools.
they're at fucking Home Depot because people are
Yeah, for this one here at the
too many
school, I think
people are
it's fine.
stealing
The Home
drills.
Depot one, not
That's
you
just
know,
because corporate interests are all over politics, and we'll donate to your campaign if you put some of those in our parking lot. So
yeah, but I guess specifically going back to the topic of this Baltimore school, this poor
yeah,
child, it's pretty bad. This is one of the more hilarious things. When I say hilarious, in the awful ways,
yeah.
where computer vision and these things, it's still a work in progress. We're getting really close, but I think human intervention
I'm just really
is still
glad that the cops and the kid played it cool.
yeah.
Because this could have been a tragedy real fast.
Yeah, I'm really happy because Baltimore. I think they
Baltimore
did
cops
the
typically do
best they
their
can.
job pretty good. I'll say that much. Like, not
That's what it feels
always.
like
It's a
right now.
big fucking city. There's a lot of fucking cops there, and Baltimore has had some atrocities of itself throughout the years.
The other fun ones with
Some I
AI
might cover.
things are
Go on.
you can also look up. I think it's they're trying to detect whether it's like a muffin or like a Chihuahua head,
Are you,
and they have a hard time detecting. Go ahead.
a what?
That is like a real thing. So yeah, so AI still has issues detecting things as we already mentioned.
Yes.
But the fun test is always there's like a you can probably look it up. It's they can't differentiate between like a face of a dog and like a blueberry
This is
muffin.
like a real or cake thing, right?
No, 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 yeah, sure, but this is like a real thing. Uh, dog face, yeah. So it's whether it's a muffin or just dog faces. I'm gonna send you, I guess, the original photo.
You
This is
can
the
put
original
it up
photo
on your
where
thing too. I can transition to you if that's easy.
I would,
Sure.
but I had a collapse of. You know what? Maybe give me one moment. I'll just send you the
Sure.
photo. Oh no.
Oh, I can move the browser. Yeah, here we
Or
go.
I'll just send you, I guess, maybe the article typed better.
No, I definitely understand this now. This was not exactly what I was envisioning, but now that I see it, I get it. For the podcast view, or for the oh yeah, I should
Listeners.
talk about Spotify and how I refuse, so there won't be any actual just listeners anymore. um,
Oh,
Actually, you can still do it on YouTube. So for the audio only people, let me sensually tell you that it's a close up on Chihuahua's faces and a close up on Muffins, and I thought it was it's like a faces thing, and like now that I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, AI would be bad at this because frankly, if I look at that at a glance, they're all the same to me too.
that's right. So this is a common issue with AI. I'm not saying that it's perfect. We're gonna get there. But I think human intervention, basically, that just, you know, to capstone this.
We're
Uh,
and we're
the,
not we're not like anti AI. I would say like at base, like we definitely think it should like say fuck Salesforce and fuck Amazon and all that shit for and Microsoft especially. Holy fuck Microsoft. I
yeah,
hate them so much.
but like, yeah, the idea that AI is taking away human jobs and
Yeah.
not finding ways to enhance their jobs for greater productivity. This is definitely AI being used for poor, awful things. We
Yeah.
might get to another terrible AI man in a bit,
Yes.
but but that's the idea, is that, you know, AI for other reasons are pretty good, but the fact that AI is using to replace people's jobs and not finding a way to
And
either
just
transition
make
these people to,
life overall shittier. Like the dead like I've never believed in the dead internet theory more than I have now. And like maybe I'll do a thing about that, but I don't want to get into it because it's weird. But also, like, that's why Windows 11 sucks, is because it's all just fucking AI vibe coding. Like, I'm legitimately, I might do a stream from my laptop where I put Linux back on my desktop, and then I do the show and go back to Linux only streaming and trying to promote Linux, because I used to do it and I really like it, and now I think I'm going to make an earnest attempt to try to really learn like Wine and Proton and all that shit to get my shit to work. And if not, and if it's not on Linux and if it's not on a PS5, I'm not going to fucking play it.
hell yeah. Anyways, I guess let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah. um that
um,
was a diatribe and a half. Okay. As a reoccurring theme this week, I have experience in law enforcement, and a lot of it is in corrections, and some of it is in like parole and probation. And parole and probation is not that much different from like keeping up with people who are getting their immigration together and everything. And so a lot of, like, for instance, if like the prisons, parole and probation, especially in North Dakota and in most places around the country, they're very intertwined, where they're considered kind of the same thing as you're part of the corrections system. And so they have protections. Oh, and this is where we go to the bottom of the algorithm, by the way. They have protections in place that were actually a George W. Pushed bill called PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act. This is obviously a good thing, because anytime you prevent sexual assault, sexual harassment, that's a good thing. I don't think that's a hot take.
it's very reasonable.
So when you're in prison or on supervision or anything like that, you are covered by PREA. And it's a very serious topic and whatnot. I was a PREA investigator for a little while. It sucks because you have to hear about literally the worst things in the world. One thing I discovered is that if you are on immigration, you don't have those protections. You are at the protections of whatever laws are around and whoever enforces them. And because you are not a citizen, ooh boy, you ain't got a lot. And so what this story is about a woman. Her name is Sylvia Reyna Mendoza, and she's a mother of 8. And she has been in the United States for 40 years and has been, by all accounts, a wonderful and productive member of society. All of her neighbors and people in her community have wonderful things to say about her. Her children seem like great kids who are all about my age, and they had nothing but nice things to say. Listen, if my mom was up there and they were like, say something nice about your mom, and I'd be like, no comment. But they had nice things to say about their mom. And so what's happening here is that these people who come in and want to legally immigrate to the United States go through ICE and whatnot first. But because there are so many of them and there isn't that many ICE agents and faculty to do that sort of thing, they contract it out to private businesses. And so this company, it's BI something. BI Incorporated, which is the most generic name ever, helps process immigrants who are coming to the United States and make sure that they stay, like, oh, you're living where you say you live and you got a job and things like that. It's basically the same thing as being on parole or probation. Not that difficult, except there's way less oversight. And so this has been one of many allegations, but this is a story that has this is one that I've kind of followed up on and looked into, where there's a lot of evidence pointing in Miss Mendoza's favor, where basically it's like a PO, it's like your agent or consultant, or maybe they even have a term for it in here, your contractor. Case specialist. Your case specialist is what they call it. Basically straight up said, like, I'll take care of you if you take care of me, and was like asking for sexual favors.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gross. And like, this is sadly not a rare story, because these people are not U.S. citizens. It makes them very easy to take advantage of. And the one thing we keep trying to reiterate and talk about is that they want modern day slavery. They want no accountability. They want slave labor and sweatshops in the United States. Howard Lutnick wants you to work in a factory for minimum wage, which is $7, until you die. So this is just more of that. This is the cult. This is what comes from that culture. There were also several other ones about ICE facilities and detention centers, and frankly, the details were incredibly gross, so I'm not going to go into them. But there was a inmate there who was forced to perform oral sex on the deputy warden of the facility every day for like 5 months.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And that is covered. So that should be covered under PREA. But in both of the cases of that one and with Mendoza, when she reported it to like BI Incorporated superiors and things of that nature, it was just swept under the rug. Nothing happened. The reason I take Miss Mendoza's story very seriously is because she did file a police report with the Sacramento Police Department. The Sacramento Police Department did confirm that, yes, they did file a report on her behalf, but they can't comment on it because it's an ongoing investigation. So
the lawsuit alleges that there was no follow-up from BI following her sexual complaint. Yep. Instead, it alleges that they began requiring her to wear an ankle monitor in March for what?
It's retaliation. It's straight up retaliation. Yeah.
And then she's detained. She's currently detained in ICE's facility. So, correct. What the fuck?
Yep. It's straight up retaliation. We are no different from Nazi Germany. We are rounding up brown people and doing whatever we want with them.
This is like a 65-year-old woman.
Yes.
So,
and because she's brown and old, they just think she don't matter. No, man, this is a mother of 8 and a pillar of her community.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And that's why we bring these kind of news up to us, because it can get kind of lost in the
there is a human
in
cost
the other
to
horrible
this.
things.
Yeah.
So
this is like, we get up and this is the shit we see. Holy shit.
And the idea is like, sometimes like, I don't see it in my neighborhood. Everything is fine, but that doesn't mean that nothing is happening just because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, man. We're a big ass country. We're a big ass country.
And this isn't liberal Sacramento. So, it's happening everywhere.
Is
So
Sacramento liberal? That's like Northern
I'm,
Cali, isn't it?
I'm going to claim it is.
Oh, okay. I like that. I can go with that.
It's all of California.
That's good.
So,
That softens it up because the next story isn't as horrible as the one we were just covering. Here's my transition. How do we feel about Kamala Harris? Yay. She's fine.
yeah.
She's
I,
better
I
than
think.
gruesome Gavin Newsom. That's my opinion.
I,
I would much rather have Kamala Harris run for president again than Gavin Newsom. Please and thank you.
I, I, I think we should stop putting her up to run for she's not. She doesn't do good. She does not do good.
You don't
Not.
you don't think that she would do a better job on the second try? I think she would.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Mostly because in the times that we try to put her up there, she's not really been doing well in the polling in other previous primaries.
that's
Um,
factually
she does.
correct. Yes.
Yeah. So based on those things, a lot of times, even though we, but either way, if she is put up there as she does win the primary, I'm gonna vote for her.
Yep. Same. And I saw something this week that really was like, it kind of hit it home for me, and I think people need to take it to heart. And it's like, you're not voting for a sports team or a personality or anything. You're placing a chess piece in a great game. And I kind of agree with that.
I do think as a chess piece in this great game, I do think there is still a lot of sexism in America.
Oh, absolutely.
So the idea of putting her up there, I think, is a bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the idea, because I think
Al said
America's
it really well.
sexist.
He was like, Latinos won't vote for a woman. I was like, ooh, well, that's stark.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who still will not vote for a woman. And, I thought we were going to get there. And America is not ready. They're never going to vote for a Chinese man. That's for sure. So, this is the thing.
I don't know, man. I think Asian's the new white. I think this is your time. If Andrew Yang hadn't gone crazy, I think he'd be a real contender.
No, it's fine, because we still have a lot of high suspicions of China, and the fact is that
we have to come to the like. There was when Obama got elected, there was this like glint of like, maybe we could be a post-racial society. It's never like, we've got 100 more years before we can even fucking think about it, guys. I hate to say it.
Yeah. So but in this case, if she's planning on running again, I do think that she is probably going to be the one where we kind of just vote on her because she is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Because that's the idea. I think that with elections and people choosing, a lot of people just choose to switch because the current times are bad.
Right.
And they think that the president is apparently some kind of god king.
Right.
And he can detect and say how the economy works. The economy, this is a thing that I now misunderstand. I grew up with my education thinking that the president largely doesn't really matter in much in terms of economy things, because if you believe in free market, that means the market should do what it can want.
Exactly.
There's a concept called Keynesian thing where the government technically can influence how we should spend our money and build up industries. Big one is like how the government invests in things like NASA and other things to build like technologies to then help disperse out and new technologies to business.
And look at what we've got from NASA. Fucking, that's where all of our best military tech comes from. That's where we got the microwave from. I love my microwave.
The whole idea of the military industrial complex is only because of how, the military funds a great portion of our jobs.
Yeah.
But in this case here, I made a misunderstanding. I'm pretty sure people just didn't want to have Joe Biden or Trump because the economy at the time is just terrible. They feel bad. They hear the phrase economy doing great, and then they don't feel themselves. So we're going to vote out the guys and vote out whatever party because they're the guys in charge.
Right.
But none of this is true now in the era of Trump, where the man can literally issue tariffs and ruin our economy and kill people's jobs. And
I
like,
should
so
note that the Senate voted that Trump cannot do tariffs. It doesn't matter because he can veto that. It would have to go back to the House for a majority vote, but the House is not in session. It is a symbolic thing, but I think it's good that they did it anyways.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I said in this case with Kamala Harris, I think there are probably better candidates out there. I don't know who they are, but
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I think you might need to choose
What would you think about
somebody
like
who doesn't.
Tim Walz?
Tim Walz is is going to be another Jimmy Carter,
Okay, that would
where
be not
he
good.
because these are men of what's a good moral standing.
You're right.
Tim Walz is a person who barely has $20,000 in his bank account. His net worth is like 15K, and I'm just like this man is
You say that
the
like it's a bad thing, but
it is
it is to a lot of people. That's the whole problem.
because he's just an American. He's just one of us.
Isn't that how the president should be?
Yeah.
This is my pitch to work on the Tim Walz campaign. Because it's not
But
that far from home.
like I said, the issue is that we're gonna have a situation. We might have to choose him, but like I don't know. I do think that we might want some younger people in here.
Well, they're not going to pick
I can't.
AOC. They're not going to pick Bernie. They're not going to pick
It,
Jasmine Crockett.
like I said, the idea is that for me is just like I hate to say this, and this is where it's like I think we gotta stop just trying to prop up things and people who kind of represent us, but not actually like solve any problems that really matter to the modern regular Americans.
Sure.
Because as much as I want to have an Asian president, a woman president, and it's good to kind of look at this, but we need to focus maybe on more problems that affect more of America.
Stuff that we can actually control.
Yeah, and identity politics, as strong as it is not going to keep my children fed.
Nope.
Is not going to, affect people's with joblessness. It's not going to stop them from getting AI to ruin people's jobs. And as much as it is great, it is wonderful that we have, just like with Biden. Biden said he was going to put a black woman in like the Supreme Court, right? We did it. It represented. Are they going to do great? They're going to do fantastic. But I don't think it is a good selling point to the rest of America, who instead voted them out because they wanted lower gas prices, they wanted their eggs cheaper, they wanted these things, and they also just hate the idea of having a woman as president. So like, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up the point. Barack Obama, he commented on the thing. He was like, "These are all distractions that they want you to look at because your life isn't any better," and he's right.
That's right.
So I guess the moral of the story is a third term Barack Obama. Let's go. Also, that would really stick it into Trump's craw. Holy shit. Could you imagine if he lost to Obama then? Oh my God. In an illegal election where neither of them could win.
We're going to see. We're going to see. Like I said, I definitely would want somebody like Bernie, but Bernie is
he's getting old though. He's getting up there.
The system was never going to put Bernie in place. They shut him down 3 times.
Yep.
He could have been Biden.
Yep.
He could have been Hillary. They asked him each and every time to step down. They asked him to step down to put Hillary in place. The Democratic Party is old and decrepit and has its own problems. They are a controlled opposition.
Oh God.
I only vote for them on things because they're just not the other guy.
Yeah.
That is not how we should do things. We should,
Schumer out of there. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, why haven't you endorsed Mamdani? I'm still talking to him. Well, what are you talking to him about? I'm still talking to him. Dude.
The guys they're afraid of young guys. They're afraid of Muslim guys. And this is a nightmare. Like I said, these are just the nightmare things. And I mean, I don't know. This all sucks. It all sucks. This is
You know who's
everything is bad.
awesome? Zoran Mamdani. He's awesome. I like him.
He's a young man.
He's just I don't like that doesn't even matter. He just seems like he's good at what he does. Like he's got a plan, he's going to follow through on it, and that's what you should look for in a politician.
I do think so. I think he has a pretty solid plan, and it seems pretty straightforward to me. The benefits are great.
I got to be honest with you though. You know who I'm speaking of cult of personalities and political figures and whatnot. You know who I'm kind of disappointed in is J.B. Pritzker.
J.B. Pritzker. What he did not do.
He's the governor of Illinois, and
Yeah.
he has and he's a billionaire, like a real billionaire, capital B. One thing I did like is that he's like, I love gambling, and he's like, I made like $1.2 million in gambling with my wife, but they donated it all because like they're not,
of course,
fucking monsters. So I don't think he's a dirtbag, but I think he's got people in his circle that are giving him some pretty bad advice. And the way he has the governor of a state is like, okay, so if Trump is the ultimate law enforcement official for the federal government, your governor is the ultimate law enforcement official for your state law enforcement. So like in North Dakota, that'd be the Highway Patrol, Bureau of Criminal Investigation, Parole and Probation, Game and Fish, a couple other things. Same thing in Illinois and whatever. But the state police there have been kind of heavy-handed with protesters, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. And there's this like hopeful / cynical part of me that's like, well, maybe it's just he's trying to keep them in line so that the feds don't get out of control. But that's some copium level shit on my part, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. Like I said, it's the other issue. I think is that sometimes a lot of Democrats, they want to look for like the perfect candidate,
Right.
the most pure thing, and that's just gonna
It
kill
doesn't
you.
exist.
Yep. Just like with any kind of things, perfect is the enemy of good.
Right.
It's the enemy of getting things done, and I want to get things done.
That's kind of why I like Graham Plattner up there in New England. He's like, whoops, I accidentally had a Nazi death tattoo.
Yeah.
But I was a kid in the military. Whoops, toxic masculinity happened. He doesn't have any control over that at that point, basically. And I think his actions and his, speak way louder than a goofy tattoo. See, the problem with Pete Hegseth and his tattoo is that's corroborating evidence.
Let's see. I mean, in this case here, with his Grand Platinum, it looks like his finance director has resigned from part of his campaign. That's not good. So we're going to see how that works for him up there.
Yeah.
It could be a situation where
he's only 3 years older than I am. It doesn't.
Like I said, I don't know enough about the guy to start slandering him.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a Nazi death tattoo. Nazi death squad.
But at the same time, I don't know whether having.
They have a.
I mean, it's specific where I'm just like, I don't know. Because you don't want somebody who's kind of like.
You don't also want somebody who's like a MAGA guy who has an actual no moral compass, and he's just like, I'm going to do the opposite thing because that'll make me money. You want somebody who actually believes in it.
Because I'm looking at the death head. I'm like, it is kind of a cool symbol. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's gonna get us.
No, that's gonna get us.
Yeah.
But that's the idea is that
yes, basically
it doesn't have a
one of these. Kinda, except not the same.
Yeah.
So it does resemble that, but it's a skull. Whatever, man. It could have been way. It wasn't a big fucking iron cross like on our Secretary of Defense.
Yep, it's not a big iron cross. It's not like 2 lightning bolts. Oof. It's not literally just turning our actual American flag into a Nazi symbol.
Swastika. Yeah.
Just swastika. And it's spun the right way. It's not like they're Indian and they're like, oh, see, it's the opposite way.
No, it's for good karma. Shut up. I know what that looks like. I've been to that class.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Indian people, Hindu people. They took our
Oh no,
swastikas, they flipped it around,
they did.
and then then that's it's gone forever. It's
They
just like
call it.
the
They
Charlie
fucking.
Chaplin mustache is gone.
They done
You can't
colonized
wear
it.
an undercuts. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, man.
Because the undercut was so cool,
It
and I would look really good in it. And now it's just a symbol of
and
hate.
like
And
listen, like the uniforms looked great, but that's the whole thing. Is because of course they do. That's part of an authoritarian government is to look cool because then that's how you get people to accept you. And tactical is in right now. That's why ICE is doing what they're doing.
And now I understand how come, like, one of my friends at the time, when I got the haircut, I'm like, this undercut thing looks so nice. Like, oh, hey, you look like an F-boy. I'm like, oh, shit.
See, but if you're Asian, you can still do it, and you should.
No.
Do you know how many haircuts
no.
I see on, like, black dudes or Asian dudes that I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that. Do it for all of us.
Once you leave the cave, you can't go back in the cave. So.
Touche.
So that's the curse of knowledge. Anyway,
okay,
moving on.
Let's get into some law enforcement and some legalese and some other stuff. We've talked about this a little bit, and let's talk again about friend of the show, Kilmar Obrego Garcia. We've talked about this guy a lot because if anybody there could be 30 Lifetime movies or like a proper like AAA movie about this guy, and I hope they do it and they do it justice because holy shit, this guy is just a dude. And they're trying to deport him, even though in 2019 the court was like, nope, you can't deport him, and they were like, nope, we're going to deport him anyways. He's the leader of MS-13, and we go back and watch the episodes. It's horrible what they do to this poor guy, and so they're literally at it again with their arch nemesis, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, one Latino dude from El Salvador. That's where he's from originally.
Yep, El Salvador, and then they wanted to deport him back to El Salvador,
which he has fled gang violence because he is a victim. That is how he came to the United States, because it's bad there, and we take in people who are good, who don't want to be part of that, and that is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And do people have problems? Yes. Does he have a criminal background? Not at all.
So in this case here, so we're having I guess talks with former
Erez Rivani is he was the top Department of Justice lawyer who handled immigration cases in the United States for the first Trump administration. And he was quickly put at the top of the list of people to be at the top of the DOJ under Pam Bondi under the second Trump administration. And so one thing that we kind of talk about is that in the first Trump administration, there were still a lot of adults in the room. You know, your John Boltons and things of that nature. They're still not great people, but they're like, listen, dude, you can't do that. That's unconstitutional. Those people are gone, or they're being gotten rid of. And one example of that is this Erez Rivani. He was one of the adults in the room. He was like, well, I'm not going to lie, because that's what they asked him to do. They asked him to straight up lie about Kilmar Abrego Garcia to get him deported. And he was like, nope. And they fired him. That is the long and short of this article. They don't want
it's pretty damning.
Yeah, they don't want people to tell the truth, and they want people to lie to further their agenda. That is a police state.
Yep, and you'll hear a lot of times that judges will always complain about, I guess these we call like Trump brought about lawsuits.
Correct.
And stuff. Sorry, I guess the new GOJs and all the lawsuits, and it's all like unprofessional. It's high, and I'm even seeing in this article here. They're saying that one judge described this as highly misleading.
Yep.
When it comes to some of these records. So,
and I'm going to tell you, I have a spoiler for you. We have more evidence to support this claim coming up in the next story. So, okay. This is bad.
So
I don't know what else to say about
going to
this.
Uganda, I think. So
yeah, and they wanted to deport him to Uganda. What are we doing?
Is he?
This is concentration camp level shit.
Was it somewhere else now? That's what TD is. Where is he at now? Where's our boy now?
I think he is still technically in a holding facility in the United States.
Yeah, that's why I thought a little bit. Just want to make sure. But anyways, yeah. So like, if this was like a comedy movie, it'd be great.
Oh man,
But this is
now
just
they're
real
going to
life.
deport me to Uganda. Except that's not fucking funny.
Oh,
This is a real
it's not
human
funny.
being who's never been to Uganda.
Like I said, this is not just it's comically evil.
Yes.
So that's the problem.
Yes, this is some Lex Luthor shit. Like, let's send him to Uganda. Fucking, this is a real human being with a wife and children. You should go. CBS News, despite the merger with Skydance and everything, is still a pretty solid news experience in the United States, and you should go check them out. I think they'll be totally honest. People have resigned from there in the last few months over journalistic ethics. So I really like them.
According to Wiki, he's now going to Liberia. So
Oh, for
this is
fuck's
bad.
sake. Jesus Christ.
And anyways, yeah.
And
So,
this is all because they fucked up. It was an actual error, and they can't admit they're wrong. And this guy's gonna get a huge payday. If you listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm the next president, I'm gonna give Kilmar Abrego Garcia $500 million. I'm gonna sell Trump's stupid plane out of the library, and I'm gonna give him $500 million. And the New York Knicks. So this was a story that we had briefly touched upon 2 weeks ago, where the Ninth Circuit ruled on the National Guard being able to deploy to Portland. And that was a pretty big hit because we were like, what the fuck? However, the Ninth Circuit is also full of Trump picks, so it's not that surprising, but it's also like, ooh, the rule of law just doesn't fucking matter anymore, I guess, to some of these federal courts. So there was a short time where it's like, well, you can't rely on the Supreme Court because Roberts and Kavanaugh have corrupted the whole thing, and that is still the case. But now we're getting into districts we can't believe in. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Ninth is the first district to go, because that is Trump did a number on them. Except it came out that they reversed their decision because they lied. The Trump DOJ lied, and there's a lot to go in here. There's a lot of legalese in here, and Law and Crime is kind of a right-leaning ish website anyways, but even they're like, what the fuck, dog? So that should tell you something. A lot of law enforcement people are right-wing leaning, and even there, a lot of them are like, what the fuck, dog? The long and short of this end, again, is that the court asked them, how many officers did you have deployed to keep crowd control? And the Trump administration said 115. That's the whole unit of this special unit, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And they also claimed that, and they were barely able to do it. And so we need the National Guard to come in. And based on that evidence, the judge was like, damn, yeah, actually, okay. And on that evidence, I probably would have agreed with the judge, except that's not what happened. There were only ever about 30 officers at any given time from that unit of 115 officers that were there to do like crowd control and transport and all that kind of shit that they need to do. Also, they had no problem containing the crowds. So they just straight up lied about two very important things to just be like, yeah, the National Guard needs to go there. I don't know if I need to explain this, but that's real bad. The President's Department of Justice lied to a federal court about their law enforcement activities and what they were doing with civilians so that they could justify sending in the National Guard. That is some authoritarian shit, like textbook. They're just really incompetent, so they didn't succeed. I don't know what else you need to hear here now.
So I guess so okay. I guess before we go super full authoritarian ranting, so of course we would have a temporary restraining order. I guess is now back on, right?
Yes.
The
And
TRO
also,
temporary restraining order.
it should be noted that the National Guard were deployed to Portland for a short time. They did not do anything. They just hung out and then left.
Yep.
Because Trump doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. So I guess this is the one where technically, I mean, this is a common one you're going to be hearing for the next couple months or less, where technically, because the judicial branch has no power to enforce these kind of particular decisions,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
So that's why I say the president, the executive branch, can technically just do whatever the
they
hell he
want.
wants.
Correct.
And this is not something new for Trump. This has actually gone all the way back to freaking like Andrew Jackson, our eighth president.
And that reminds me,
he's
don't let me forget we're gonna talk a little bit about
seventh president.
Venezuela at the end of this and doing whatever the hell they want, because I don't have an actual article on it. Continue, please.
No worries. Okay. And anyway, so that the idea is that we can. The fact is that we don't actually have a way, usually, to stop the president from doing things from judges, because it usually requires help from the legislative branch, which is controlled by who?
The Republicans.
And the Republicans only want to
suck Trump's dick.
That's correct.
Correct.
His weird mushroom-shaped thing.
It's tiny.
That makes me feel
a mushroom in a cornfield.
I mean, when Stormy D sent me that picture, I'm like, oh, I feel better. And then I paid her $200.
I love her. She's incredible. I love her. Yeah, and so normally the federal government does actually have an enforcement branch of the courts, and it's the U.S. Marshals. Except under W, the U.S. Marshals got folded under the Department of Justice and Homeland Security and all that shit.
Yep, and we're getting rid of independence.
Yep. This is why decentralized command is so important.
Yep, that's the whole point of inspectors general is keep the executive in check. And then they're like, no more checks. We're getting rid of all of them.
Yep.
So
Trump fired all those guys. Well, Doge fired. Remember Doge? Remember all that?
Yeah, what did they do?
Oh, $16 billion in cost to the taxpayers, remember?
That's right.
All right.
I guess next article.
Yeah, and so we have a heavy law enforcement theme this week. And one of the things is that the Midas Touch, which is a Robert Reich production, whether you like him or not, he's okay. He's fine. He's okay in my book. Same with Brian Williams. He's okay in my book too. This was a commercial that the Midas Touch paid almost $200,000 to air on Fox News, and they refused to play it. But they took the money. And so Brian Williams on MSNBC was like, well, we'll play it. And we're going to play it here too. So let's see if I can get this to work on the first try.
Last thing before we go tonight, a liberal political action committee, ardently anti-Trump, whose commercials and podcasts we've aired occasionally in the past. They're called the Midas Touch, and this weekend they put this out on social media, quote, "We made a $184,854 TV
really hope we don't get copyright struck from MSNBC or the Midas Touch. That'd be kind of bullshit for this, so I'm going to talk over it a little.
Retweet and get it out in every corner of the country, they say.
Yeah, it's a little bullshit,
well, we have
but
a pretty good reach too, so we've chosen to air it tonight.
So
be cool, Brian Williams and the Midas Touch.
What isn't factual about it? Which people
I can get a scene copyrighted for this part where Brian's talking, but the commercial, come on. You paid $200,000. We're going to play it for free.
I mean,
for our
this is the issue.
viewers.
Like, I had issues with this, where I was trying to make a reaction video to the Midas Touch, and I kept getting copyright struck every time I uploaded.
I'm going to bitch at Robert Wright directly. All right, here is the actual ad, and they do a good job picking it up. I don't think I should have to give you a preamble of what January 6, 2020 was. I certainly could tell you my personal story about where I was and what happened on that day for me, but it won't be nearly as bad as it was for these poor people who serve their country. I'm going to play this ad in its entirety now.
I'm proud of the officers I worked with on January 6th. They fought extremely hard.
Our worst nightmare really come true, an attack on American democracy right here in the nation's capital.
I experienced the most brutal, savage, hand-to-hand combat of my entire life.
I received chemical burns to my face that still have not healed to this day.
I just remember people still swinging metal poles at us, and they were pushing and shoving. They were spraying us with, bear mace and pepper spray.
They were all shouting at us, calling us traitors.
It's been very difficult seeing elected officials and other individuals whitewash the events of that day or downplay what happened.
As an American and as an Army veteran, it's sad to see us attacked by our fellow citizens.
Yeah. So honestly,
Yeah.
January 6th to me was a lot like, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but it was a lot like 9/11. I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember exactly who I was with and all that kind of shit. So yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I'd make a correction. Robert Reich does not sponsor or own the Midas Touch.
Oh, he
The
does
Midas
not?
Touch is an independent media network.
Oh, no wonder. Well, I'm going to bitch at Robert Reich anyways.
That's fine. You can still do that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that anyways.
You can also bitch at his son Sam Reich and have us be on Dropout instead.
Ooh. That's a good idea.
We'd be on Game Changers. We can be on Game
my
Changers
God. Don't.
and then talk about. Okay.
We're
Never
gonna
mind.
get into some gaming stuff later, because everything is
that's right.
connected now. So yeah, I like that. The GOP did betray America. Please don't copyright strike us, Midas Touch. That would be bad.
Thank you, Midas Touch.
Yeah, thank you, Brian Williams, Midas Touch, and Robert Reich.
Thank you, Michael Popok, Ben Mysalis. Please don't strike us down.
But not thank you to Michael Rappaport, who doesn't like Zoran Mamdani. He's very out of touch these days. Shame.
Fuck you, Mike.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that. He seems like he's probably an okay dude. This guy, Larry Bushart, seen here wearing the same shorts that I bought at Walmart that he did, was arrested in Tennessee over a month ago for posting a meme on Facebook. Did you hear about this guy?
This is the dumbest shit
It's really
that happened to this
bad.
man.
And so I've looked into this quite a lot. This was, again, another one we touched on a couple of weeks ago because there were not very many details about it. And I was like, well, clearly they probably released this guy already. No, they didn't. They released him only like the other day, like 2 days ago.
Yep. So in this case, to remind y'all, so for I guess it was a Facebook group that was doing some kind of vigil for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And then this man here, he posted a meme that's, I think it was, well, whatever. He posted just a meme that wasn't really threatening.
No,
it was
basically, so when the Parkland shooting happened and they were like, what is your response to that? And Donald Trump was just like, well, we have to get over it. Like, holy shit. Okay. Well, I guess that is one way to answer that.
Yeah, that's 2024 shooting in Perry, Iowa, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and he posted the meme of Charlie Kirk getting shot, and he just posted the Trump reaction of, you're going to have to get over it. And this is where it gets weird, because the sheriff of this county, and his name is Nick Weems, an elected official, is a big Charlie Kirk fan. And it really seems like he took personal offense to this, because the way they brought charges up against him was that maybe somebody in the community might think that he was going to shoot up one of their schools because the name was kind of familiar, even though they had received no information about a shooting or anything. And when the school system was asked, they were like, we didn't hear anything about this. What are you talking about? So it really does seem like Sheriff Nick Weems loves Charlie Kirk and hated those memes. Weems hates memes. I should go run for sheriff down there. Damn it.
So what is this video that we have queued up?
This isn't really a video. This is a still from the body cam footage of Mr. Larry Bushart getting arrested for said memes. we can try to open.
I think there's a video.
Yes, there is.
Little bit.
I'm going to cue that up here. If I can get YouTube to work. Here we go. All right. This is body cam
This is the
footage.
arrest.
Yep, this is him getting taken to the detention center, it appears like. So let's see what this has to say.
And just to clarify.
Oh, and by the way, Larry Bushart was a police officer for like 24 years.
Threatening mass violence at a school.
So there's threatening mass violence at a school.
It's referring to a school. I have no idea. They called us for.
That's a good sign. Hang on. Let's go back here.
At a school. It's referring to a school. I have no idea. That's what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I ain't got a clue. He ain't got a clue why he's arresting him. He ain't got a clue. Are you fucking kidding me? Ask some fucking questions, guy. All right, let's see if there's any other nuggets of wisdom in here. I know you don't give a. I ain't got a clue. He literally ain't got a clue.
I'm not saying you did.
See, this cop is just like, oh man, I don't want to fucking be
I'm
here.
not saying you did and did not commit a crime.
Oh, he's just a transport officer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I have no idea. This is what you're being charged with. I ain't got a clue. I've been that guy. I get that guy. Oh, he's a
strong hand.
Whoops. Okay, we'll react to police videos some other day. Speaking
No,
of,
it's okay.
this one really pissed me off. There is video of this, and I've got to find it. But literally, there were people out protesting ICE in Chicago, and an ICE officer leaned out the window and was like, "Bang, bang, you're dead, liberal," to some random dude. And that random dude happened to be an Army veteran. And he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And that's how the rest of the world should be. And so this is under this is I've done a little research on this guy too, Greg Bavino, which is the worst knockoff mobster name I've ever heard. And he'll never be close to a Goebbels, but he sure wants to be some sort of enforcer. He's a real piece of shit and is letting these guys act with impunity. And this is not how we let law enforcement in this country act. We need to hold them to a higher standard. And like that shows that Sheriff Nick Weems, who's an elected official, needs to be held to a higher standard. And these officers are the same thing. Yeah, man. I can't believe there is a world in any department that I have ever worked with or collaborated with that wouldn't have got you ultra fired and blacklisted from the community.
That's real bad.
I've seen people do so much less and get blacklisted, and I'm just like, oh man, that was bad. And this is just like so far beyond that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is not like a soldier in Fallujah can't get away with that. Are you like a cop in America can though?
So this guy was like originally from like border control, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's using, I guess, border control things and what's considered allowed for ICE.
So that's the whole thing now is ICE is under border control, and so they get a little different. This is why they've been buying warheads and shit, you know?
Yeah, so does that mean that we get to have different, I guess, different legal protections? Than they used to, I
Technically,
guess?
No. They technically don't have the authority to do what they're doing because they are still operating in the jurisdiction of the federal and state and local authorities. But again, Trump doesn't give a shit. They're just going to do whatever the fuck they want to do anyways. That's why this is a problem. Speaking of Trump doing whatever he wants to do, might be a little, maybe I can, yes, let's put on closed captioning here. This is Trump getting interviewed on Air Force One by the media pool he hates, and he brings up the ones he likes and one he doesn't like. Oh, he loves the New York Post because they're owned by the fucking Murdochs. But this is him talking about wanting to enact the Insurrection Act.
Last night
hasn't been necessary. We're doing a great job without that. It was necessary.
Oh, they're doing a great
As
job.
you know, I'm allowed to do that.
He's allowed to do that.
Who are you with?
See, before he answers this question, all right, let's go back. This is important. Go back just a little bit. Because she asks. Oh, didn't go back far enough.
It was necessary. As you know, I'm allowed to do that.
You can have a branch of the military and send in. And he asks, who are you with? The New York Times. Oh, if you're writing correctly, I'll answer.
I want to enact a certain act. I'm allowed to do it routinely, and whether about 50% of presidents have.
See, and then he says 15% of presidents have enacted the Insurrection Act.
I mean, I don't trust the man about statistics.
No.
So,
yeah. And I'm like,
wait, he's been teasing this kind of stuff. Let's see. How many? I mean,
I'm going to turn this down
quite
and
a few
keep it
presidents.
playing.
Yeah,
So he
no
wants
worries.
to invoke the Insurrection Act so he can suspend elections. That's the long and short of it. Again, Trump always tells you what he's going to do. But I'd be allowed to if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you could use the Army, Navy, Air Force. I could send anybody. Yep. I don't believe him whatever. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty bad. So the last time the Insurrection Act was enacted was George H.W. for the Rodney King riots. That's according to Wikipedia. So,
that makes sense, I guess.
and then before that was Ronald Reagan for prison riot over deportation of Cuban detainees.
Ooh, that
And
sounds like an
then
abuse of power.
Yep, in 87. And then before that was in 68 by LBJ, by riots and civil unrest after the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr.
Cool, just a bunch of winners that have enacted it. Just a straight group of awesome people.
And then, then there's LBJ had to do like 3 times.
LBJ
and
is
then
a
before
piece of
that,
shit.
it was he's a complicated man. He has done interesting shit.
He's a piece of shit.
Like I said, before that was JFK.
JFK did it?
It's been done in quite a few things. Some of them were race riots by FDR. They got the one you probably remember is Dwight D. Eisenhower with the Little Rock and the students, where the National Guard forbid. So there's that to fight that down.
How did that go?
Well, in this case, the National Guard was stopping students, and the Arkansas National Guards, and we sent in federal troops to help escort. So that was pretty good. That was Eisenhower.
Yeah, weird. What a weird.
A lot of them were just using it to stop like strikes and uprisings. Joe Wilson stopping a strike and uprising in Colorado. So we're just using it originally just to stop strikes, like Grover Cleveland did to stop strikes.
Corporate interests.
That's right. Railroad strikes. Yep. Rutherford B. Hayes, old man, big beard.
Yep.
1877.
Yeah, let him demolish that whole White House. We need a different one. Maybe down the street a little.
So the only other times besides used, because it was back in 1980. Sorry, history lessons, folks. Sorry about this. But a lot of times it was using to fight against things that are declared as like rebellions. For things you might agree with, like, there's a slave rebellion. Andrew Jackson used it. Kind of bad. White supremacist insurgency across the former Confederacy. Ulysses S. Grant used it. You're like, it's probably good.
That's good, yeah.
But
fuck those guys.
So it's a complicated. It's a tool that the president uses, and whether the president uses it or not, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like we need better checks and balances.
Yeah, it's weird. And the last time, beside the last president that, in our modern memory, we thought about using the Insurrection Act was during Hurricane Katrina. So
Wonderful.
under George W. Bush.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't remember this stuff. I wasn't paying enough attention when I was that age. I don't know that people are.
Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have Prince Andrew in a can?
That's where he's going. That's where he's going to be living.
Well, I've never. Well, there's no such thing anymore. Because he's had his titles stripped. Ooh, sweet, we got a bot. Andrew Windsor is now his name. He is no longer Prince Andrew because he is a sex pest. Can we do this to our president? Because he's just as guilty as this guy.
Yeah, we could do that. I
That'd
think
be
it's called
great.
like impeachment.
That'd
So,
be great. Let's do that.
hell
So
yeah.
there's a lot going on here. This all goes back to the Epstein files, and that's still why one of the reasons the government is shut down. So they can't confirm the gal from New Mexico, so she can't be the final vote on releasing the Epstein files. It's a whole, we live in a gong show now. But
Yep.
Jeffrey Epstein was a real sex trafficker of young women and children. And, I mean, sex trafficking is just bad all around. But he was exceptionally bad. And
So-
we know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. We know that Donald Trump Donald Trump straight up said, like, oh, he stole girls from me. That's why we had a falling out. Like, straight up.
You
And
know-
that was a few months ago. This isn't from, like, the 90s.
Yeah, when he does this kind of stuff, whether he's just protecting a bunch of billionaire rapists, and I'm
Right.
just like, maybe not. Maybe we'll just get rid of these guys.
Yeah,
Let's
that
just
would
get rid
be
of these
great.
guys.
I thought we were supposed to drain the swamp, fellas. At any rate, of course, Andrew, what was it again? Windsor. I never remember. It doesn't fucking matter. Prince Andrew Windsor, is no longer a prince. They stripped his titles. He can no longer live in royal property. He has to find his own property that the king is paying for personally, which is really funny because I guess it is his son, but like, fucking what? And then his ex-wife who left him over this stuff, she's just high and dry. She got to find her own she got to figure out her own thing. So we'll see her on podcasts and doing a book tour soon, I'm sure. Because what else are you
But
going to
Andrew,
do?
formerly named Prince. Let's go. Yep. I mean, this is good. This is definitely good things.
Yes.
And, the idea.
It's
fact that,
finally,
like,
it's
you know,
finally good that the victims are getting some justice, and we need to do it over here where it was extra bad.
That's right. Fuck you, Andrew, formerly known as Prince.
That's right. The prince formerly known as Prince Andrew.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's about it.
That's about
but
it. It is a pretty good symbolic thing. It will hopefully give more credence to the victims of Epstein to speak out and be brave, and that we as a society need to protect them and do right by them. So Marjorie Taylor Greene was rocking on that for a little while, and then I'm sure she took money from somebody too. So because she has no moral. Okay, let's get into video game news. Remember when we did that on this show? We used to do that, and then joy left our hearts, and this is another example of that. Because the White House posted a meme of Trump in John Halo's armor. The John, what is his name? John 117. Oh, it's on the armor.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, the Spartan John 117. John Halo. You're not a Halo guy?
Just continue. It's been a long time. So
okay, John Halo.
Xbox.
Basically, this is so I kind of want to, instead of just talking about it a bunch, I think you should go to aftermath.site and read what they have there. They're a really good video game website and gaming website. And if you like what we're talking about here, they're way better at stuff. So you should go there and maybe give them money. But this is Riley McLeod. I like a lot of his writing. You should go check it out. He has a theory that everybody in the government is 12 years old right now, and that is kind of the answer.
Yeah.
And it's not so much the state of that, like how authoritarian it is, even though it is, but it's also just like, ooh, look at what we can do because we can. We're in power. Nobody would ever do this. And it's fucking pathetic. And GameStop was put out a thing, and it was like, we hereby declare that the console wars are over, or whatever. Cease all the hostilities. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is the worst time for you to open your fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I do see that GameStop also did post a photo where
did they?
another. Yeah, I know you have ads probably disabled on yours.
I do.
Let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I can share my thing. It's been a minute because I had a failure thing. I actually, I'll just send you the link.
Sure.
I'll just send you the.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That's easy.
There you go.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I mean, there's also. I mean, this is like for future President J.D. Vance.
Yeah. No. Oh man, we got to talk about him too before we leave today because this is the last like official story. Hang on, I'm gonna enhance. Oh, too much enhance. There we go.
It's okay. I mean, just keep it's fine. Keep pixelated. So,
Woof.
oh my god.
Woof.
He,
That's his
I know for
mugshot.
Halloween.
That's his mugshot.
Yeah. Yeah. Dog. This way they think. I want government to be boring and serious because this shit matters.
Yeah.
And these people running this thing, they ain't serious anymore.
No.
They down here they have an image of freaking this is the ICE, was it the immigration whatever Homeland DHS, sorry. Homeland Security. Oh, I'm gone. Cool.
Oh, right. And this is what thank you, Tommy. This is what the Department of Homeland Security posted on Twitter.
Yeah, so that's pretty bad.
That's gross. Like, so we touched on it earlier, but like media literacy is dead, and these people have never been fucking media literate to begin with. It's the same. These are the same people who were like, yeah, let's post us as Darth Vader killing a bunch of fucking like peasants. Like, yeah, that's cool. Like, you didn't understand the assignment at all.
Yeah, subtlety is dead.
Yeah.
Things are gone. It's we live in a new age now.
It's depressing.
In other terms of new ages, I believe we might be having a war with Venezuela soon.
We are. Let me see if I can find anything on this. So, if you weren't aware, we're just shooting boats off the coast of Venezuela for no reason. And they even admitted,
like,
I don't know how to spell that. Yes. So they're literally, they admitted they don't know who they're striking down there. They're literally just killing people based on very vague criteria. We should have Mr. Running Dog on the show soon. Maybe he can talk about some of that criteria and why that they would be doing this. I have a feeling, this is my theory. I hope he proves me wrong or proves me right. I love a good discussion. And I'm sure it's just like, these boats look like this. They're traveling at this speed. They're not where they're supposed to be. That's where drug dealers are, so we kill them. That's not due process at all.
They're power boats.
Right.
To get a power boat from like that area to America, you don't have enough gas in your freaking tank to get there. It's not a hard question to answer. You can make special all you want. Why are we even policing all the way that far out? I don't know. And it's
and the big problem right now is that there have been leaks that the United States is looking at striking military targets. And I don't think they're going to do a ground invasion, mostly because they put a buttload of troops out there, but not enough for a ground invasion. But that would be bad. Don't do that. They're probably going to shoot missiles at stuff because that's what we like to do.
Yep.
And we really shouldn't be there fucking around at all. Like, is his government good? No. Like, is this the answer to defeating it? Also, way no. Maduro is not a good dude, and he has run that money run that country out of money and taken way too much for himself. But this is also not the answer.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because the people, I said once again, the people of Venezuela put in, Hugo Chavez, gave him all this power, but nobody ever remembers what happens because this only happened after they kind of had some form of like a bit of independence and other crap. It's like that.
Right.
They had democracy, and they're like, democracy kind of sucks. We're gonna go back to strongman. So only the strongman can solve the problem. So
well, let's see how that's then that's what the world got, and it hasn't worked at all.
Yep, because strongman cult of personalities only last so long.
Yeah, and it's a couple of years. We didn't even learn our lesson from World War II when this happened.
Absolutely not.
So this is Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of Defense, and I will not call him the other one because fuck you. Literally posting pictures of the United States striking boats on Twitter. The stuff you used to have to go to LiveLeak to see.
Hell yeah.
It's gross. It's disgusting.
Showing. Yep, yeah, that's off. Yeah, you look at that boat. Like I said, that's just like a 40-foot power boat.
Yeah,
I've seen these damn things race.
Oh yeah, they're all over
US.
Florida.
Yeah, like the idea you can't just like take a power boat, and I guess you can take a power boat and like get to like Cuba.
You could get to
like
Cuba,
90 miles.
Yeah, but like any farther than that, and you're not coming back. You're gonna make it 120 miles, and you're gonna run out of fucking gas.
Yeah, so it's not hard to understand. Like like I said, but they don't go that far.
No.
You can just look at it by the size. How far can they go? So
and like
okay.
and the fact of the matter is they're doing this for their base, and Taylor did cover that at one point. He's like, he's not doing that for the United States. He's doing that so people on Fox News will clap their hands like seals. Oh, cool. We blew up some brown people. They love that. We're not helping those people. Nothing. I don't know if there's anything we can do for those people. Is there anything else we want to cover?
I mean, there's so
much.
But
it's just always happening now. Like that's the thing. And there's definitely something we need to talk about. And that's the article I'm going to write for easyvotend.com. Let me pull
that's
up.
Right.
I'm gonna go to a different. I'm gonna go to.
I mean, I guess before we do hop onto that,
Yeah.
I do just want to mention that it's been like a month. It's been over a month during the shutdown that people have not been able to, like air traffic controllers have not been able to eat.
Right.
For things. They have not been paid. They're just still working. So we're actually having massive delays in Orlando right now. So a lot of, in fact, like yesterday, I think I read an article that they're just like, we're canceling all flights. You just can't land.
Yeah.
That's going to kill our economy.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the last times this happened was an FAA strike that solved it because rich people couldn't fucking fly anywhere. And they love to fly all over and pollute our planet. So I'm kind of here for the FAA and no flights going out right now because that's going to send a message. If you ain't getting paid, don't go to work. Fuck them.
Yep, give me one moment before you. I gotta add a new link to share to you. I think.
Very good.
I was gonna figure out how to publish this thing. Sorry, it's been a minute.
All good. Go back to the flood here. Good Lord, that's immigrants are the flood. Bad. Destroy them. That's what they're saying. It's disgusting.
Nope, wrong post. Crap. Published the wrong thing. That's why you gotta watch what you publish. But it's okay. Because that's the power of the web. The web is there. Go.
Web 3.0.
I gotta change the author. He always puts my name on everything.
There we go. Oh.
We haven't gotten to the other parts. I only did part of the page already.
Oh, I like this. This is why I let Tommy do all the hard work.
Yep. So this is just the beginning of it. So yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. So as the intro stated, and I probably have said on the podcast before, but I started this website and I talked to these guys about wanting to do a podcast, mostly because we're generally well-informed and educated people with a pretty diverse background that leads us to have some wisdom. And part of that is I spent over a decade working in law enforcement in a lot of different capacities. And when Donald Trump got elected, I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. Because he told us he was going to be bad, and we keep telling you that he tells us what he's going to do. So we started this website to try to combat that and do what we can nonviolently and civil disobediently to resist an authoritarian government. And this is part of that. And so what I want to do is use what knowledge I gained while out working in law enforcement to help people understand the process and what might happen and how. So this article is basically going to be how to avoid contact with law enforcement, how to act if you are contacted by law enforcement, what to do and how to act if you are detained or arrested. And I'm working on a section that's like, if you are in jail, like, what do you do? Because I have a lot of experience in corrections and jails and stuff as well. Not as bad as you think. Be brave. Don't panic. That's the thing. Record everything. That's the long and short of it. Get your phone out, start recording everything. But don't dox people. That's bad. Don't do that. Unless it's ICE agents. I don't give a shit about them. But we're working on that. I'm writing it, and Tommy is putting it in a lovely web format for the website. That is easyvotend.com. You should go there. The goal is that I'm going to have this written in the next 1 to 3 days for the first draft issue of it that will be published. And then Tommy will get to it whenever he has free time, because we don't get paid for any of this. We're just doing this in our free time.
That's right. We are independent media.
Yeah, we nobody pays us nothing. These are all of our personal opinions. These are our hot takes. But
yeah, we're just dudes with a camera and a microphone.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And so, but we try to have integrity and ethics about the whole thing because that's important to us. Oh, my cat is here. Hello.
Yep, that's the thing. That's important because we are concerned citizens.
Yeah.
And we want to try to help do what we can. Like for me, I like to make sure that's important to me that people are fed, people have shelter. If I can provide, I can, and that people are more educated because it gets tougher as you get older and you get busy. Look, man, everybody's busy, everybody's working.
Yep.
But trying to remain educated on the things that affect us and affect other people, I think is important for us to make good decisions. You should be smarter and have knowledge to, be able to make the wise decisions of just trusting whatever that guy says. Because trust me, it's so easy to just trust the man.
Yep.
But because we trusted the man, he screwed us over.
Here we are, losing our asses. Exactly. Yeah. So go to easyvotend.com. Look for that article. I'll probably, the goal is to have it up hopefully this week, and then we'll talk about it a little more next week. Assuming we're here next week. I hurt my back last week. It sucked. My mom also had a heart attack. She's okay now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's fine now.
Oh.
Fine. She needs to listen to the goddamn doctor anyways. So hopefully she'll do that now. But other than that, the holiday season, I think, has started officially. It was the 1st of November yesterday, and holy crap, did it feel like a holiday Saturday at my job. It was busy, but that's cool. I think we're going to wrap up the show now. I was going to open this box of Riftbound, but I think I might do that on a separate stream. And I also have 2 boxes of Hollow Live, and we also might game. I don't know. We'll see where we're at. I need to definitely go eat something because I haven't eaten. You need to take care of the dogs, and one of my cats is screaming, so I have to go figure what that's about. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tommy, thank you for being here. Thank you for holding up the show with me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Everybody go to easyvotend.com. We'll have the archives and stuff there. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Twitch. We're not on Spotify anymore because they run a bunch of ICE ads. So fuck them. Like recruitment ads. Yeah, fuck them, honestly.
We'll figure something else out.
Yeah, we'll figure something else out there. So, alrighty. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week.